How's it going, everyone? My name is 2PatStack, and welcome back to another video. Today we will be covering the Golden Knights' 5-2 loss against the Arizona Coyotes in their first away game of the season. Well, I'm going to give an overview before I get into the thick of it. The Golden Knights came out really flat tonight. They really did. You know, in their third game, their first against Coyotes, they played really sloppy in the first two periods. And it wasn't that they played sloppy tonight, they just came out really flat. And a lot of players looked kind of invisible out there. One thing that I think that they need to do, one notable thing, was that Glass was in and Haig was out. So they were going 13 forwards and 5 defensemen. They need to stop this. As much as I thought Glass had a decent game, but Kolesar can't do anything when he's playing 3 minutes a game. And not only that, but I thought Kolesar looked really good on the third line in the last 2 games. And not only that, but I thought Nick Hague played pretty well last game too. So I thought that having Glass in to do the 13, 4, and 5 was kind of wrong. They're going to have to figure out this cap situation soon because we can't do this 13 forwards, 5 defensemen thing for very long, especially against a good team like Colorado or St. Louis. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. So it was pretty evenly played, shockingly, in the first period. I don't think Arizona played all that incredible of a game. I know some players had gaudy point totals, like Garland, I think, had 3 or 4 points. But it was really evenly played when the game first started. It actually, Carlson got the first big chance of the game. He got a breakaway, and he missed the net. And that's about how the game went for the Golden Knights. Then Waugh took a hooking call on Schmaltz, because of course he did. I didn't see a replay, so I can't tell you if that was a good penalty or not. But during that penalty kill, Dvorak puts it in from Garland. It was off of a rebound. Leonard, this was his first loss as a member of the Golden Knights. He didn't play the greatest game, but on the other hand, I don't think anyone played the greatest game. So yeah. Honestly, Leonard even almost had that. It went off his blocker and it just went in. So, but by the 10-minute mark, I thought it was pretty evenly played. I didn't get a lot of notes because this was really more of a Coyotes game. It was low chances. Not a lot was happening. But yeah, and then Demers slashed Carrier. And then during that power play, there was a 3-on-1 against shorthanded. You should not be allowing a 3-on-1 shorthanded ever. That should never be a thing. When you are 5-on-4, you should not be allowing a 3-on-1 the other way. But I did think that 3-on-1 was relatively well defended by Theodore. Then Theodore got a delay of game call, because of course he did. And there was a good penalty kill. They only allowed 2 shots on it. Then Tuck tripped Keller, and they went on the penalty kill. It was a good penalty kill, and they only allowed 1 shot. Shots after the first period were 11-10 for the Golden Knights, and Arizona led 1-0. I thought that first period was probably their best period, even though I wouldn't say that they played well. They took too many penalties, and they really didn't. They still looked flat. Like, you know when you're watching a game and you can clearly see that the team isn't trying as hard as they did in other games? That's what I mean when I say they came out flat. And it's almost more frustrating than when they're playing sloppy. Because at least if they're playing sloppy, you know that it could be frustration or that they're trying and it's just not working. But if they're coming out flat, it's that they have lower effort. So hopefully this game pisses them off enough to where on Sunday they can go in and take Arizona out. Then let's get to the second period. So actually, right in the beginning of the second period, it's 1-1. Theodore got it unassisted off of a turnover and just put a laser right past Kemper. Then Leonard robbed Keller on a breakaway. And the Coyotes, one thing I noticed in the first and the second, they really didn't do it much in the third, probably because they were just sitting on the lead. But they were really trying to go for that home run pass, and it really wasn't that successful for them. But yeah, the Golden Knights need to be wary of that home run pass, even though it didn't really work out that well for the Coyotes. Then Derek Brassard gets it from Pitlick and Dvorak, and it was caught on a change, but Leonard shouldn't be allowing that goal. He just slapped it in. It really wasn't a very good goal. Oh, and then right after that, Nick Schmaltz gets it from Garland and Kajula. And this one wasn't Leonard's fault. 3 guys were all over Garland. Okay. You should never have 3 guys going after one person. So Garland just passes it over to Schmaltz, who has 3 hours in front of the net to deke all around and do all fancy puck movement. And just Leonard committed to a save, and he shot it right past Leonard. So, yeah, I thought that was the worst defense they played this season on that goal. And then Jason Demers interfered with Glass. The Golden Knights could not even get into the zone during that penalty, and it just looked like they were getting pushed around. And Keegan Colasar, bless him, with only like 3 minutes of ice time, actually got a really good chance in front, but just didn't put it in. Then Leonard robbed Schmaltz on a breakaway. And then just the offense, they just looked flat. And then in a play, Kemper had a huge save on Pacioretty, and the puck got over to Smith, and he missed the empty net. I believe it was deflected by a shot block, but I could be wrong. And that pretty much took us to the end of the second. So yeah, just another really flat period for the Golden Knights, and they come out of it really unlucky, 3-1. The shots were 11-9 that period, actually, for the Coyotes. So let's get into the third period. The fourth line did not start the third period like they usually start. I actually agree with this. The fourth line needs to stop starting games and periods, because while sometimes they get it and they can be very effective grinding in the offensive zone, they are a liability defensively. So I think that they really need to stop that. Start with like the Stone line, or even start with the Carlson line, because come on. Then the fourth, then it didn't really change much, because near the beginning, Garland made it 4-1 from Kajula and Schmaltz, and he looked still flat. And then Carrier got a penalty. It was an interference call on Clayton Keller. Now, if you watch the actual play, Carrier is just standing there, and Clayton Keller runs into him. I don't know how you get an interference when a player hits you in the back and they fall over, but yeah, that was a horrible call, and luckily the power play came in for them. Then Demers did a high stick to Carrier after that penalty kill was over and got a double minor. And the first 2 minutes looked awful. It looked awful. It was one of the worst power plays I've ever seen, and they couldn't do anything. But randomly, Stone shoots it, and I thought it was in, and it would have been in anyway. But Glass deflected it slightly, and he got the goal. So it was Glass from Stone and Theodore, and that made it 4-2. And the Golden Knights looked a little better after that, but not much. And then Martinez high-sticked it, and they took a penalty, and that was the end of the game. It was like 2.5 minutes left, and he took a minor penalty, and that was it. It was all over. But at least I noted that at least we weren't the Predators. Okay, quick tangent. The Nashville Predators lost 7-0 to the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars played their first game last night because of COVID protocol. So the Dallas Stars have not been playing games yet. And in their first game against Nashville, Nashville lost 7-0. I don't even know how you do that, man. Anyway, but during that, Stone had a shorthanded chance, but nothing really came of it. And there were a few seconds left in the power play, and they were in the offensive zone. And so they pulled the goalie to get it 5-on-5 at least until the end of the power play, and they couldn't even do that. And Osterley gets it from Krause, and that made it 5-2. And Stone tripped Krause on that play, so technically there was a penalty, but it didn't really matter because they scored on it. And that was the game. So the Golden Knights lost 5-2 to the Arizona Coyotes. They better come out next game and actually put in the effort that I know that they can put in. The shots that period were 11-5 for the Golden Knights. So the Golden Knights just could not get anything going. I know that the shots really do not tell the story of this game. The Golden Knights actually outshot the Coyotes 31-26 in this game. Leonard saved 21 out of 25, and Kemper saved 29 out of 31. You know, I do my 3 stars for the Golden Knights every game, and easily this was the hardest one so far because I don't think really any Golden Knight had that good of a game, but I guess the first star would say Theodore because Theodore did have a couple good defensive plays and he scored the first goal. I'll put Stone at second because I thought Stone had a relatively decent game and was pretty much going to score that second goal. And I'll put Whitecloud as the third star because I thought Whitecloud played actually pretty well defensively. They just couldn't get anything going in the offensive zone. Arizona was 1 for 6 on the power play, and the Golden Knights were 1 for 3. You should not be taking 6 penalties in a game. Now, I know that Carrier one was a horrible, horrible call, but no. In fact, I think Arizona's 2 for 6 because... So, yeah, you shouldn't be taking 6 penalties in a game anyway. But... Anyways, guys, that's the game. The Golden Knights looked terrible last night. So hopefully they can come out and play a much better game tomorrow. Tomorrow. So that's really it. One thing I do need to say, an update on the channel, is that I have a Twitter now. There is an official 2-Pad Stack Twitter. If you want to follow it and get my thoughts on things around the NHL in real time and during the game, then follow it and I'll put my thoughts down. Anyways, guys, that is it for this video. The link for the Twitter is in the description, and I will see you next time.